Hi guys, it looks like Remainers will have to read it and weep. The concrete farmer and an ex-Brexit Party MEP have found a Brexit benefit. Now, according to an article, which I'll leave a link to in the description of this video, by a media relations manager at the consulting firm Ernst & Young, the UK remains Europe's most attractive destination for financial services investment. So there we have it, a Brexit win. Or is it?
Now, just one final thing to upset the Ramonas of this world. Britain kept its place last year as the top European destination for investment in financial services, defying fears that a post-Brexit City of London would lose business to its rivals overseas. Read it and weep, folks. Once again, the people who blame Brexit for everything have got it wrong.
Okay. Just a few things about this article, and as I said, I'll leave a link in the description. I had a look on other providers of information regarding finance, like the Financial Times, Bloomberg, and I didn't find anything replicating this news, which was strange. But even if this is true, there's another problem. But it says here, the article, the UK remains Europe's most attractive destination for financial services investment, extending its lead. And they throw out a whole load of figures here, showing, for example, how the number of projects has increased in the UK in respect to France, Spain, and other countries. The number of jobs being created has increased in the UK. One figure that they don't include, it seems, is investment in regards to money. Now, once again, I'm not an expert on any of this. I don't know if my criticisms are legitimate, but they don't talk about money, the amount of money flowing in and the amount of money flowing out. They talk about jobs created and they talk about new projects. And a problem perhaps with all of this is that the UK doesn't have full equivalence on financial services. That means that if service providers in Europe want to continue to operate in Britain, before they just had to set up an office, that was it. But now they have to set up an office, they have to hire a team, and they have to follow UK regulations because they're different. So, and the same goes the other way. If UK service providers want to operate in Europe, they have to follow European regulations. There isn't equivalence, so there isn't the possibility just to continue operations as they were before. Once again, I'm not an expert on this, but it seems to be this is a major problem. So jobs being created in London, projects being started in London could be a result of Brexit, that Brexit has created a problem where in order to continue to operate, you need to open an office and follow the rules there, which is, of course, a cost that businesses don't want to absorb, and they'll have to pass it on to the final consumer or whoever they're selling the products to. But the whole clip gets worse.
Yeah, well, Mike, there's something very important to make about this announcement, which is when we signed that ridiculously oppressive, hideous withdrawal agreement, the oven-ready deal that was Theresa May's repackaged Ramona pact with the EU,
the one that the Brexit Party voted for. Now, I don't know. I had to look online for information about her when she was a member of the Brexit Party in the European Parliament. And all I could find was Ben Habib and another guy who voted for this. So Ben Habib voted for the withdrawal agreement, the oven-ready deal, when he was a member of the European Parliament. Alex Phillips, I don't know. I would presume, as a member of the Brexit Party, they all voted the same way. So I would presume, and I'll stand corrected, I'll correct the record if it's necessary, but I presume that Alex Phillips also voted for the withdrawal agreement in the European Parliament, the one that she's criticising here.
One area where we didn't get a deal was in the financial services sector. That's the one area where there is nothing arranged with the EU, and look at what's happened. Meanwhile, in the sectors where we are bound still by EU competition regulation, by harmonisation of tax and so on and so forth, you've got car manufacturers saying this deal needs to be torn up or we're not going to invest here. You've got AstraZeneca saying Britain is not open for business. That's a
You're a Brexiteer and you're not supposed to say these things.
UK pharmaceutical company which is moving to Ireland, which is in the EU, and many other areas of heavy industry which frankly cannot cope with the high energy prices. On top of that, the high levels of corporation tax. On top of that, the inability of the UK government to give any sort of meaningful state aid to critical sectors. So what does this prove? Actually, what we needed all along was a no-deal Brexit, because
So what the UK needed all along was a no-deal Brexit. So it would have been better off not just having non-tariff barriers, but to having tariff barriers as well. Like the problems that Britain is facing at the moment, importing goods and exporting goods. She believes it would have been better if it was more difficult. If it was more difficult to import the goods that you need to create the products that you want to sell into the European Union, and it'd be more difficult to sell those goods into the European single market. So this is her solution. So the problems that Britain is facing at the moment would have been resolved if there were tariffs. You know, there are certain products which are, like cars, for example, which are avoiding tariffs at the moment. Some of them will come in later on if they don't respect rules of origin. But can you imagine if there was a no-deal Brexit? The EU would say, okay, we're going to impose tariffs on everything. Everything you sell, we're going to impose a tariff on it. As long as we make it ourselves in the European Union. To protect our industries, we're going to impose a tariff. So there you go. How would that be better? How would that be better than the current situation? Of course it wouldn't. Only a lunatic, a crazy person, an idiot would think it would be better to impose even more restrictions on UK businesses. And when it comes to the withdrawal agreement, of course it includes Northern Ireland. And I've yet to hear a Brexit Party member or ex-Brexit Party member present some sort of solution there either. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.